Hello everyone, data structures, algorithms, quicksort. Quicksort is a divide and conquer algorithm, and guess what? Is a recursive algorithm too. It is also in place and unstable algorithm. It uses a pivot element to partition the array into two parts. The elements that are at the left side of the pivots, they are less than the pivots, and the elements that are at the right side of the pivot, they are greater than the pivot element, as you can see here at this demonstration. The pivot element will be in its correct sorted position always. Then we do the same thing for the left and the right side. We do the same thing, and we have at some point every element as a pivot element, which is also sorted. At the end, we end up like in merge sort with one element arrays. Every element array is a pivot element. The time complexity of this algorithm is O to the n logarithmus n, because we repeatedly partition the array into two halves. In worst case scenario, we have an O to the n too. Let's see a quick example. The pivot element will be the first element here to choose in this array, and we start at the 0. The end element that we will choose is the 6, because it is always array plus 1, and this is our j. How we use the j here in our array, it will be minus minus j. Minus minus j in Java means that every time that we choose this element, it will be minus 1. So the pivot element will be the 18, and keep that in mind because we will save this number into this variable and we will have it inside this variable. We will start from minus minus j. Remember, j is 6, so minus minus j is 5, and it's our last item in this array. And we go from the right to the left, looking for the element that is less than the pivot element. Minus 77 is less than the pivot element, so we swap it with the first element, with I, which is 0, or even better, we don't swap it, we just assign it there. And as you can see, when we assign it there, we have 2 times the minus 77 and we don't have the 18 anymore. But don't worry, because we have 18 saved in this variable before, so we don't lose it. Then we start with I++. I++, which is 0 plus 1 equals 1, is the 42 in our case. And we start from the left to the right this time. And we search for the element that is greater than the pivot. Or let's see one before that. We have the 42 now. Exactly. And as we can see there, the 42 is greater than the 18. So we assign it to the position j, which is the last position as we saw before. And now we have 2 times the 42. At this point we have the I at the position 1 and the j at the position 5. And we check if these two have crossed each other. If not, then we switch back to minus jj, and the minus jj means 4, and it is the 60. And we repeat the same process that we did before. If the 60 is less than, is 60 less than 18? No, then it stays where it is. After that, we switch back to the I, and we increase the value by 1. And this is the minus 8 in our example. Then we go again from the left to the right, and we see, is the minus 8 greater than the pivot element? It's not greater than the pivot element, so we assign it to position I, and we switch back to the minus minus j. In minus minus j position is the number 4. 4 is less than the pivot element, so we change it with with I. And now I and j have crossed each other. That means that the value of I will be the sorted position of the pivot element. So we assign the pivot element there. At this point the pivot element is, so the 18, it's at its correct position. And as you can see, all the elements that are left, that are at the left side of the 18 are less than the value of the 18. And every element that is right from this pivot element are also greater than this pivot element. So what we do from now on, we just rise and repeat. We do the same thing for this left array, and the right thing for the same thing for the right array, and at some point we have a sorted array. And remember, in a sorted array every element is a pivot element because it's sorted and in its correct position. Now let's write down some code. You can open up your programming platform, and then we can write some code and implement this algorithm there.